Hello and welcome to Media MD, the podcast where each fortnight we prescribe each other a piece of media that we have somehow missed. I'm Reuben Morehouse.
And I'm Elliot Diebold.
That was a good one. Got through that one nice and quick. It was all professional. All right,
First try.
Cool. Yep. So, I fucked myself up. Forgot what we're doing. It's your turn, Elliot, right?
Yeah, it's my turn. And so, as we sort of mentioned last week, I'm bringing you the cult comedy Wet Hot American Summer.
Yes. Okay.
So I guess we'll just start off with... I'm just interested to know what you know about this, because I sort of pitched it to you, and I think you've heard of it, but you haven't seen it.
I know a couple of things through like Netflix and shit, right? Through it just being in the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that it's like the Amy Poehler aged SNL comedians who are in it, right? And they're like playing like kids or something at a summer camp in America. I don't know. That's basically all I know about it.
Okay. Well, yeah, so you're right. Amy Poehler's in it. She's one of the main people. But there's not really... Because I looked it up because you sort of mentioned SNL, and there's two other women who were also in SNL, but they were in SNL in like 1995 to like 2000. So
will I have heard of them if you tell me their names right now?
I don't even remember their names right now. I hadn't heard of them.
Okay.
I hadn't heard of them through SNL. I think there's going to be a lot. There's a lot of actors and actresses in Wet Hot American Summer that you're going to recognize from a variety of backgrounds and everything, and so there's a lot of that includes a lot of faces that you'll recognize the face, but you won't be 100% sure what you've seen them in. I spent a lot of time IMDbing as I was watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the main point of the movie, you pretty much covered it, is that it's all a bunch of 30-year-olds playing 16-year-old kids at summer camp.
Does it get old, that joke, or?
No, it doesn't. They don't really overplay it. It's just kind of one of those jokes that's sort of in the background. There's only a handful of times where it's actually called out.
Okay.
But just to sort of go over, because like you said, you saw it on Netflix, and that's really because there was the movie Wet Hot American Summer, and that came out in 2001. And so almost all of the actors and actresses that you're seeing in this movie, this was where a lot of their careers got started, or was very early in careers that have since exploded.
Right.
And so then I'll go into more details about the movie's production a bit later, because there's some funny stories there, but. It got a bit of a cult following, and so then after they did Arrested Development season 4, the next thing Netflix sort of went for was a Wet Hot American Summer sequel, which ended up becoming a TV show prequel.
So they're even younger.
Yeah, exactly. And now all the actors and actresses are like 45 or so.
Jesus,
so it's a bunch of 45-year-olds playing like 15-year-olds.
Okay.
And... yeah, and so that went for 8 episodes. And then the reason that I thought to bring you this now is because earlier this month, so August 2017, we got another sequel series. So this is like another 8 episode sort of mini series type thing set 10 years later.
Okay. Oh, thank God. So they're only playing 26-year-olds, not 16-year-olds.
Yeah.
So to sum it up, there was first a movie, then a prequel show, and now a 10 years later show.
Yeah, and so the timeline is 2001, 2015, 2017.
I thought there was another movie somewhere in there. Am I wrong about that?
No. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so how many episodes of show in total are we looking at across the two? Yeah,
so I'm not going to be upset if you don't make it through the second show. But each of the shows is 8 episodes that are about 30 minutes each. So they're about 4 hours in length.
Okay, that's doable over 2 weeks.
Yeah, and then the movie is your typical 90 minutes.
All right, I'm down.
So like I said, I've avoided sort of letting you know anything about the cast, because for me going in, I only knew about a quarter of the people in it, and I was constantly surprised, especially because the TV shows came out once it was already popular. So even more big names just sort of jumped on board. And you just sort of, as you're watching it, you're constantly like, oh, no way.
Oh, that's blah. That's blah.
Yeah. For me, that was really part of the experience. Is just constantly other people you recognize or names just sort of showing up. Part of the reason I got interested in this is I sort of found out about it when Netflix did that prequel series because they were advertising it to me, and I went and read a bit about the original. And when you sort of talk about the original, lots of people love to talk about the production, and it's such a hilarious story. It's really what got me interested in watching it.
Okay.
So basically, it came out in 2001, and the budget for the movie was just under $2 million. And I think that's really important because once you see the cast, you're going to wonder how the hell they got all of these people for under $2 million.
For under $2 million, yeah.
And in fact, there's one person who's in it who's currently an Avenger in Marvel's movie series.
Jeremy Renner?
Who is actually convinced he wasn't paid for Wet Hot American Summer.
Wait. Is it Jeremy Renner? Chris Evans?
No, it's not. No. I'm not gonna tell you, but...
You don't tell me.
Yeah.
Or is it one of the shitty ones, like Falcon or something? One of the ones no one cares that much about. Not one of the big Avengers.
He's had his own movie.
Ooh. It's got to be Hemsworth. It's got to be Hemsworth.
One of these Avengers was in the movie, and he's actually pretty convinced he didn't get paid. Like, they forgot to pay him, and he forgot to ask them to pay him.
Okay.
But anyway, so off that $1.8 million budget, the movie went on to make a solid $300,000 domestically.
So it flopped.
Yes. And in fact, if you go to Rotten Tomatoes, it still has a rating of 30%, with like some of the reviews that I went through on Rotten Tomatoes. One critic called it agony on a stick. And then there's other quotes from the people.
Wait. You're recommending this to me not as like a good thing, right? Not as a like so bad it's a good thing.
No, this is like a genuinely good thing. I think it's hard to explain. So Wet Hot American Summer it's absurd. And
it's ridiculous, but it's good not because it's shit.
It's good, but I think you've got to go in with the right mindset. Like, it's a very divisive movie. So like I've shown this to a few people before, and some people, like, after like 90 minutes, they're like, I want my 90 minutes back. Like, there was nothing in that film. And then other people will be like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen anyone who just had a sort of mediocre opinion of the film. Like, it seems you either hate it or you love it.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think part of that is the sense of humor is, and this eats into like the plot lines and everything as well. There's no order or consistency. So like when a joke is set up, there's honestly an even chance that it will go with like the most predictable punchline for the joke, or it'll go for the exact opposite of the most predictable, or it'll just go completely left field and like become an anti-joke, or just not even get resolved or whatever. Like there's no consistency to any of it. Like, you never know where a joke's going to go, because sometimes they won't try, sometimes they'll try too hard. Like, it's just bizarre.
Okay.
And I love it.
Well, you're kind of setting me up to be a bit worried about it. I'll start with the movie, right? And then, I mean, like, presumably the order that it was released is the right order to be watching it in. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the jokes in the prequel series are sort of based on events that happened in the original movie.
In the original. Okay.
Okay. But yeah, so anyway, it came out, it did terribly, and everything, but it actually started to develop like a cult following. And in particular, it was a cult classic. Yeah, in particular, a huge part of that cult following was based in Hollywood's like comedy circles. So for instance, Seth Rogen loves it, and he's cast people based on the fact that they were in Wet Hot American Summer. People in Anchorman have also said that they got their roles because of Wet Hot American Summer. So it got really big, in particular in the circles of people who were making Hollywood movies, and so it's credited with helping to propel a lot of the stars who were in it.
Well, okay. So just going back to what we just talked about, I'm curious about whether, like, it's the shows and the movie are along the same veins in terms of comedy, right? Like, if I think the movie's not that good, and then I watch an episode of the show and it's like, oh, whatever. I shouldn't keep watching, right?
No, like it changes a bit and everything, but yeah, it's the same sort of stuff, really. Like,
style, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, when I first watched the movie, I remember just sort of being, I guess the best word would be befuddled for the first 45 minutes of...
Okay.
And not like... And I think by the time I'd finished the movie, I wasn't really sure how I felt, if that makes sense.
Did you know what you were getting in for?
I knew it was going to be a bit absurd, and I knew it was divisive. So that was sort of why... Yeah, I finished it, and I honestly, I don't think I knew how I felt. And so I just sort of kept going with the show. And it was a few episodes into the show that I found myself definitely enjoying it. Like, because even though I laughed a few times in the movie, there were definitely like moments where I was like, I don't understand what this is.
Yeah, what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so and I feel like part of that may be, I think a lot of people come in, especially with the cast list that it has, lots of who are now, who like, as well as being in lots of comedy things, some have gone off to do more dramatic sorts of movies. I think people may not fully understand what they're getting into when they sit down to watch this. It is very sort of low budget and just kind of oddball humor.
All right, well, I guess I kind of know what I'm in for watching it now.
Yeah, and I mean, the shows both have like 90% or something on Rotten Tomatoes. So clearly, even though the movie did so terribly, obviously the people who've stuck around to watch the shows,
they know what they're in for more. I guess.
Yeah. There's not really an excuse to watch the show and be like, this is bad, and so was the movie. I don't know what you would have expected.
No one would do that, right?
Yeah. Oh, another fun fact from the filming, actually. So the whole movie was filmed in 4 weeks, and they actually all of the actors and actresses lived in like the summer camp that they were filming at.
Huh.
So like all the bunks and stuff that he used in shots and everything were most probably the bunks that all the actors and actresses were actually sleeping in, and like they actually ate from the cafeteria at the summer camp and everything.
What was the point of that, to save costs, or was it a method acting thing, or? No,
it was a saving costs thing. So basically they were all pretty much drunk the entire time as well. So that was another thing they brought up was
you're really not selling this movie, Elliot.
Well, no, so they weren't drunk when they were working. Oh, I don't know, actually there's discrepancies on what I read about that. But yeah, basically just sort of, it was just like 28 days of just getting drunk every night and then recording during the day.
Jeez.
And then having a party every night. And yeah, a lot of them said it was reminiscent of what they would remember from summer camp if they were allowed to drink.
All right, well, I guess I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect from this movie now, but I guess I'll go and watch it and report back in 2 weeks, see how far through the shows I got.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably... Not knowing what to expect might be the best state going in.
Yeah, and I guess it's like... I guess this seems like the kind of thing where if I like it, I'm probably just going to gun through all of the shows, and if I don't like it, I'll get through like half of the first one.
Yeah, if you're like a couple of episodes into that first series and you're not super into it by then yeah, that's probably it.
All right, well, I will check it out, and we'll meet back in 2 weeks to see what I have to say about it.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you, the audience, not the Elliot if you, the audience, wants to leave us your feedback as you're watching along with us, the best place to do that is our Reddit, our subreddit. So go to reddit.com/r/mediamd, and we will see you in a week.
Yep.
Sign off.
Yep. There's that strong sign off we've been practicing.